Hi everyone, and welcome to day 3 of our course. As always, let me just quickly check if I'm live, if it's all working. Hopefully today I'm not gonna get kicked out. My computer will not decide to shut down in the middle of the training. I set my intention, so hopefully this will all work. Okay, seems like I'm live. Amazing. Okay, perfect. So today I absolutely love today's training because it's probably something that you will not expect. It's all about really helping you create an amazing offer, product, service in your business that really fits, that really aligns with you, with your clients, with how you want to do your business. In a way that is really so aligned. And so first we need to really understand how you create a product that will actually sell. Second of all, we're going to be turning it into irresistible offer. So what aspect does it have to have, your offer? What aspect does your offer need to have in order to be irresistible, so people are excited to jump on the offer, are ready to work with you? They simply can't say no to it, right? They will look at it and be like, oh my god, this is exactly what I need. I want to work with you. And they'll be excited, and there'll be this amazing energy behind it. And thirdly, we'll also talk about, what was the next step? Once you have your product, what do you do next? Like, where are your clients? How can you actually promote it? Okay, so there's few things that we'll be doing. If you're hopping on, please say hi so I know you're watching. Obviously, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. And if you're watching replays, please put #replay so I know you're watching. Okay, so the biggest mistake I see when it comes to spiritual entrepreneurs, healers, coaches, mentors, course creators, service-based providers, is what I see is that they offer one-to-one sessions, okay, and that's it. That's all they do. It's one-to-one sessions, and they put a price on it. So it could be $50, like $50, £50, whatever you are in the world, right? $50, $100, $200 sessions, pay as you go, or sometimes they offer packages, so 6 sessions for that amount of money. Do you want to hop on it? And this is not the best way to promote your services. In fact, this is something that is extremely difficult to do. So I'm going to share with you a better way of promoting your services, okay? So how many of you, put in comments below, how many of you currently promote your one-to-one sessions and that's it, okay? Tell me in comments below. So normally what I see is, like you promote this, let's say, I'm charging £100 for 1 hour session, and then you promote it, nobody really is buying. Then you say, okay, actually I'm going to promote it now, and it's going to be special offer for £50. Nobody's purchasing. And then you decide, I'm going to do this for free, and still you are really struggling to even to get people interested, even if it's free. And I want you to know that it's so much more difficult to get people interested in free offers, because people don't value freebies, okay? They really don't. And people who are serious about solving their problem, they are ready to invest, so they wouldn't be really interested in like a freebie or free session, because they know they need a little bit more to solve their problem, okay? So never get discouraged if you're struggling to get people into your free offers, and you shouldn't be offering your sessions for free anyway, okay? Because this is the main part of your business. So your coaching sessions, your healing sessions, your sessions are so sacred that people really should be paying for those, okay? So never use a free session to get client interested. You do your session, and then you're hoping for them to purchase more, because you're going to do majority of your work as free, and people are always like, okay, so I can always come back when she's offering free sessions again, okay? So don't do that to yourself and to your business, okay? Amy, I haven't started my business yet. This course has come at a perfect time, but I was going to do it as one-to-one sessions. I'm excited to hear suggestions. Amazing, perfect. I wasted a lot of my time offering one-to-one sessions only, and it's not the best way to do business, because Why is that not the best way? First of all, it's very difficult to get your clients' results in one session, and people expect miracles. If they're paying £100, let's say, or even £50, even £20 for a session, they expect results really, really quickly. And in our area of work, we are providing clients with massive results that take time. Like, I would be lying to you if I said to you that I can get you to 6-figure business in one session. It's impossible, okay? And it's the same with you guys. We're here to heal people, to help them create something massive. It's never going to be one session only, okay? Vicky, I was only offering one-to-one. Now I realize I need something more amazing. So people will purchase, if you even doing, pay as you go, people will come for one session. They'll see some sort of results. Of course, you have powerful gifts. Of course, you're going to create some sort of impact. But people will always be like, well, it's not, like, you haven't healed me fully, right? Like, they will need more sessions. And if they even purchase a package of sessions, life happens, they might want to cancel, they might not want to pay you afterwards. The commitment is lacking, so it's very difficult. And also, if you're offering one-to-one sessions, it's very difficult to scale your business because you have to be present. You actually need to be there doing those sessions. So how many sessions, if you were to make 10K, how many sessions do you need to have every month to create 10K month? And we know for a lot of you, actually 10K is actually not your soul aligned goal. There's like 20, 30, 50K. So how many sessions would you have to be having? You'll be absolutely exhausted. And it's really important in our business to maintain our energy and to honor our energy. And I know for myself, even before I had children, but with children I'm even more exhausted, is that, there are times when you're ready to launch, you're ready to create big months, you're full of creativity, energy, you're really in alignment, you're like, yes, I can't wait to do this. But there are other days and weeks when you just feel like, I just want to rest more, I want to connect more. I need to step back, right? Because we work with energy, so it can be tiring, okay? So be really mindful how you create your business, because the minute you give yourself too many clients, too much to work to do, you're just going to be exhausted, and that will get you out of alignment quickly, and all of a sudden you stop attracting clients, okay? And then you're going to get into your headspace, be like, oh my God, where are my clients? Fear will kick in, doubt will kick in, and you're going to be getting more and more out of alignment. So it's really important, especially when you're starting a business. So Amy, perfect timing, as you said, start thinking ahead and really create your business, design your business in a way that is really aligned to you, to how you want to work and your lifestyle, okay? One-to-one sessions as well is you always have a price tag for one-to-one session. It's normally per hour, isn't it? So it's very difficult to market it again, because people will see it as expensive, or 1 hour for £100 or £20 or £30 or £500, right? People will be like, oh my God, that's quite expensive. That's not how much I earn. So not only they'll expect you to perform miracles, but also it's very difficult to market, because they'll be like, for 1 hour, £100, it's so expensive. So it's very difficult to overcome that mindset of your clients, because they will just see it as expensive. So it's very difficult to sell, okay? So please don't do it. Shamila, agree, vibes go down again. Yeah, absolutely right. So what do you want to do instead? You want to create programs, okay? And programs can have your sessions, your one-to-one sessions, but the reason why programs are so much more effective and they're so much easier to sell is because programs typically programs that get your clients from the start all the way, from the problem all the way to the results, they will take a while. So from my experience, when I work with clients who are healers, and guys who I work with, they provide amazing results, but they take time. So they create programs that are 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even sometimes 12 months, right? And as a result, the price where typically they start from £2,000 or dollars, whatever you are in the world, okay? And I'm not saying this is how you need to do it, because again, you need to find out your own soul aligned way of doing business. So I've had people, my clients creating completely different programs. They deliver it in a different way. They have different lengths. They have different type of support depending on who does them. So there's so many different offers that you can create. So I want to share with you some ideas so you can create long-term programs where you really get people from the problem all the way to the results, okay? And that would be classed as a high ticket offer when people pay, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds for your services. And you can include obviously your one-to-one sessions within that. You can have mini courses, or you can think about, what's the journey of my clients, what are the steps that they need to take to get from A to B, and you can package it as smaller courses, right? So instead of having, let's say, 6-month course, you can have 6 mini courses of 1 month, and people purchase one after the other. So it's up to you how you want to structure it, right? You can have trainings, you can have one-off classes, you can have memberships, so people pay per monthly for your services. You can have one-off sessions as well, but you can have one-off sessions as well, but don't make it as a main source of your income, because it will exhaust you, right? So and normally, how I help structure my clients' businesses is that you have many offers, not many, maybe 3 offers on the go that are different levels. So typically you have a low ticket offer, then mid-level offer, and a high ticket offer, okay? So that in that case, you can keep scaling your business. You can attract clients who are at different price points, so you're not missing anything out. But I wouldn't start now creating 3 different offers, because it's going to overwhelm you. So I always start with my clients to figure out what is their so aligned offer first, and we do that first. We start attracting clients into that, and slowly we start scaling the business, creating different offers and promoting and putting it out there to other people, okay? So today I want to focus on helping you create high ticket offer, simply because this is the quickest way to get you to consistent 5-figure months. So with a high ticket offer, that's really what my clients do to create their first 10 to 25k month, okay? In a space of 3 months, okay? Because, and I know this is controversial, but it's absolutely true, that it's so much easier, especially when you're starting out, to attract clients into high ticket offer, because you only need a handful of clients. So let's say if you want to make 10k month and you have 2k program, you only need 5 clients every month to that program. So it's really easy, even if you have very small community, because when you're starting, you will have very small community. You're not going to attract 1,000 people in a space of 2-3 weeks, right? You're going to have maybe 100, 200, 300 people inside of your group to promote. So in that case, it's so much easier to promote a high ticket offer. It always is, okay? So I always encourage people to go with that offer first. But if that's completely out of alignment with you, obviously when I work with clients one-to-one, we come up with an offer that's so aligned to them, because obviously alignment is the most important thing, okay? But this training, we're focusing on creating high ticket offer, okay? So why programs are so beneficial is because it's easier, first of all, to market it, because you can easily say to people, and this is obviously, this is something you should know from yesterday's training, right? You know your clients, you know where they are, you know what the problem is, and you know what the result is that they want to achieve. So you basically create a program taking them step by step how to get from the problem to the result. So what you really need to do, hello Tony, hello Vicky, what length do you recommend for a high ticket offer? So I don't recommend anything, never. I can obviously tell you, but what I encourage you to do is to figure out the steps, the journey of your client, okay, first. So this is what I'm going to be teaching you in a minute. Tony, yeah, $80 for our session, yes. So so definitely, yeah, I would, I would definitely turn it into a program, right? Package it, you can still offer sessions, but package it and market it as a program, okay? So to answer Vicky's question, and probably you have the same questions, what is the length, how much do I charge? And I'll try my best to cover it all today. So basically what you need to do is really figure out from yesterday, you already know your niche, you already know your clients, you already know what problem they need to solve and the results. So now what I need you to do is really figure out step by step what steps they need to take to go from problem to the results. Okay, so you might need to think about where you might, what helps really is to remember your own journey, right? Like, what steps did you have to take to get from a problem to the results? Okay, so for example, I'll give you an example with my business, right? Like, we're doing everything step by step, and I know sometimes in healing world it's not possible, so you can turn it into modules. You can say, okay, maybe it's not going to be such a linear process, but we will cover first, we're going to cover this, and we'll navigate your emotions, but these are the modules we'll have to cover in order for you to feel better, for example, right? So because you're doing such a personal work with people, you can have still a personalized element to it. But when you're selling a program, people need to know what they're buying, so they need to understand exactly what you're going to do with them. Okay, so that's why creating a journey really helps. So I'll give you an example of what I do, which is like a linear process, which really helps to show your future clients what's going to happen and how they're going to progress with you. But I'll also give you maybe an example of if you cannot really do a linear process, what you can do instead. So with my program, right, it's a really linear process, okay? Because first, so I'll say to you, right, if you are interested in my program, I will say to you, okay, great, so there's a journey, right? It's a 4-month program. So I already know it's a 4 months, because what I did first was I just started figuring out what people needed to do. First, I thought the first thing they need to do is they need to learn about alignment and energy work, right? So I was like, okay, so this is the first step. Then they need to connect to their purpose. Then they need to do the niche work. Then they need to understand the clients. Then they need to create an offer, right? So can you see how everything is step by step? And what I did, and so on. I'm not going to bore you with the whole process because it's 16 weeks, right? But just to give you an idea. And then once I figured out the steps, I then started thinking, okay, how long would it normally take my client to go through my alignment module, right? Learning about energy. And then I gave them a week, right? So my program, typically every step is a week. Some are 2 weeks, right? Because some steps are larger than others. And then I was thinking, okay, and now healing work, like how I'm going to fit into, like, because healing is not really linear. So then I decided to give them access to my healing program with all different healing modalities. And I told them that every time something comes up to them, they have to go to that healing module and help them learn. And obviously when I work with them one-to-one, I obviously help them with healing as well. Yes, and every step, after each step, I obviously trigger their emotions, their blocks, and then after each module, they have to go to the healing module to make sure that they actually healing and progressing. So I have step-by-step process, but when it comes to healing is done every single step, every single week. Does that make sense? So that's how you can structure it. So first of all, make sure you know all the steps that your clients need to take in order to get to the results. Then ask yourself in terms of, how long will each step take for my clients to achieve, okay? And you can only go with your gut instinct before you test your program, okay? So you just have to go with your gut, right? Like realistically speaking, and think about your clients. Are they busy moms? Do they have time? How much time they might possibly have? Or so it will help you to decide the length. And then once you know each step, how long each step takes, you can add it all up, and then it will give you a length of time. Does that make sense? Okay, did that answer your question, Vicky, about the length of time? And for those of you who cannot really create a linear process, think about the module. So I was recently working with a woman who was helping empaths, and and she was covering so many different areas for how to create like a successful life as an empath. So she was doing like lots of different things, and it was not very linear, right? It was a little bit linear actually, but not all of it. So she was covering, so she was saying to her clients, because again she was working one-to-one with clients, so she could really personalize it. So she was saying, these are the topics we'll be covering. We'll be covering, past life. We'll be covering self-care. We'll be covering motherhood. And so that's all she was talking about, right? And like she had so many different modules, I can't remember them all now, but as long as you've got an idea of the topics you need to be covering with people to get them from A to B, that's fine, because that's all people want to know. They want to know how long the program is. They want to know obviously the price, and we'll talk about the price. They want to see the value of it, and we'll talk about the value, what they're getting, what sort of type support they're getting. So again, there are different type of support you can give inside of your program. It really depends of your alignment, what you want to do and how much time you want to spend with your clients. So I personally, my personality is really giving, so I could never really offer something short and sweet. For me, when I help clients build businesses, which is massive work, there's a lot, it's 4 months worth of work, and we're working every single week together. There's a lot to be done to create that sort of level of success in your business, especially when you're starting from scratch. So I'm available all the time for my clients. So I give them really, really, we work side by side. We work very intimately together. So I offer group coaching sessions, but there are only 5 people inside the group, and I have one-to-one session with my clients, but in a group setting, right? So it's one-to-one session, and we go one by one. And the reason why I chose that is because I know that people learn from one another again as well, and it's beautiful to see them grow together and help each other out as well. But on top of that, they get my unlimited support in between calls. So you have to really decide if you want to give people one-to-one sessions, or you want to have group sessions, or you can have a bit of both, like I do, right? We have group sessions in a really small capacity, and then you have my unlimited support, and I check people's works. I'm actually building the business with them. So you need to decide what feels aligned with you, like how much support do you want to do. So you can be one-to-one sessions, it could be group sessions, it could be voice notes, support in between calls, or you might not want to support them in between as well. Calls, okay? They might have email access to you, they might have voice note access to you, they might text you, WhatsApp. It's completely up to you. You might create a Facebook group specifically for them so they can ask questions, or you might decide to do Q&A sessions once a month or once every 2 weeks. It's completely up to you. That's why when I work with my clients, and I know this can be overwhelming because there's so many options and you don't know what to do, but that's your head speaking, right? But when I work with my clients, it's we really connect to their soul and what they want to do, and then we just create the right offer for them and therefore for the clients. So never go with what do you think your clients want. Work all the way around. Connect to what you truly want, what your soul wants to create, and you will see that if you're in alignment with your product, your clients, your soul aligned clients will come to you because they are looking for exactly what you're creating. Okay? So that might make sense. And as a result, because your program is not only, part of the program, why your programs are so beneficial and so powerful, and that why they sell so much easier is because you offer people so much more than just sessions. Okay? That's okay, Shamila. That's fine. You offer so much more than just sessions, because sometimes sessions are not enough to get people into the results in a given space of time. Okay, so what you want to do, how you can add more value into the program, and remember, the more value you add to the program, the higher you can charge people, and the easier it will be for you to sell, because people will see your program as very, very valuable. Okay, so what you can add to the program is educational modules. So what I do, I have everything pre-recorded, but you can do it as a live program as well. So that's my first ever program. I was doing teachings like this, that were then being recorded, and then the next time I was running the program, everything was pre-recorded, so I didn't have to do the teachings anymore, but I was just focusing on the sessions. So you can add the educational modules. So what I do is every week my clients receive educational module plus the coaching sessions plus the unlimited support. You can provide worksheets, any sort of supporting documents to help them integrate their teachings into their daily life. So my clients do obviously like any healing modalities. They can explain what it is. You can do meditations. You can give them meditations. You can give them, if you crystal healer, you can talk about crystals. You can actually sell crystals to them as well, or be an affiliate. Anything to help them. You can create planners for them, so really think about what do they need, really, and give them everything they need to create the best results for them. Okay, so really pack your program with as much value as possible on top of your sessions, so you can see how much more valuable your offer will be rather than just offering one-to-one sessions. Does that make sense? And that's why programs are more expensive, and that's why they are more beneficial for people, because people know that when they get into a program, they believe that they're going to get results by the end of it, right? So they know, okay, I'm ready to pay you more money because I know that you're going to get me to results, and you actually have explained to me how I'm going to get the results. I know what I'm receiving in terms of materials from your program, and I also know what I'm receiving as support from you, like sessions and so on. So all of a sudden they see, oh my God, it's great value, so they're ready to invest more. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why you can charge so much more for programs than for one-to-one sessions, because they just deliver better results. Okay, so let me just check if I have. And also another thing is, I know a lot of people are scared too, because they're like, okay, well, I'm doing healing work or coaching calls, so obviously it needs to be one-to-one, it needs to be personalized. But just because you create a program, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be personalized, because you still have your sessions with your clients. So even though my teachings, everything is pre-recorded, which is standard information everybody needs to learn, when it comes to our coaching calls, that's when we personalize everything. Okay, because what I help clients create is massively personalized, because it's so aligned. So everybody's business is different. So you can do that. You can absolutely do that. There are ways to do this. And don't be afraid of, if you wanted to do group coaching or group program, you can absolutely do that, and it can still be very personalized. Okay. So does that make sense, or am I confusing you even more? All I want you to know from this session is really start thinking about how you can create a program and what you can put into the program to create value. And sometimes if you, for example, feel like there's one particular topic that your clients really, really would benefit from, but you don't feel like you're the expert in it, you can always I invite other people to participate in your program. So I, for example, I'm not an expert in inner child healing, but I've had it done, and I worked with an amazing healer who helped me massively in my business because I did inner child healing. And then I invited her into my program to help my clients with inner child healing as well. So sometimes, when you know other people in this industry and you want them to help you, you can absolutely do that as well. Okay, just something to think about. So yeah, so hopefully this makes sense. One thing I would say, because obviously this is all about making sure that this is so aligned, definitely, when you're creating your program, your head will get in the way, and you'll be thinking, what do I have to put in there to sell? I want to make money. What would be attractive to my clients? But what I really want you to think about when you're creating your program is actually connect to your soul first, okay? And really think about what is the product you absolutely will fall in love with, okay? What is, how do you want to deliver it? What is your personality like? Something that honors your energy, so don't overexhaust you. I work with so many people who are givers, and they, they're empaths as well, and they want to give them their whole soul and heart to people, but it's very important to build boundaries so that you have time and space to recoup, to really to fill your cup full again. Okay, so I've got some questions for you to really start thinking about, what you can create as a product. And obviously yesterday's training should really help you, because that should give you clarity on what is the problem I'm overcoming and what are the results I'm creating. So really think about what product you would fall in love with. So things like, what is the problem that you really are truly passionate about solving? So from yesterday, you should already have an idea about this, okay? What will make you feel alive, excited, and happy and lit up? What are the programs, what are the topics that you really want to talk about, that you think your clients absolutely must know to succeed, okay? What impact do you want to create with your product, okay? Who are your ideal clients, and who will this program help them? What problem will the program help them solve, okay? What sort of results do they want? So again, like when you're creating a program, you really need to connect to your niche, your soul aligned niche. Because what I see with my clients, they get super excited and they're like, oh my God, and I know this, and I know this, and I know this, and they like want to dump everything in the program. But you have to make it relevant to your niche, okay? So just to give an example, like I'm really passionate about nutrition as well and healthy lifestyle, right? But if I started talking about this inside my business program, people would be like, how is that relevant, right? Or weight loss, like how is that relevant, right? So make sure that whatever you're passionate about actually aligns with your niche, is actually going to help people solve their problem. And you have to explain very clearly why this particular thing you're talking about, how will this help them solve the problem? Okay, it's because for a lot of people, your clients, they will not understand why they need this particular module to help them solve the problem, right? So for example, my clients come to me and they're like, why do I have to connect to my soul's purpose to make money, right? I need to explain that to them. You probably already know this, right? But there are some people who question this. Oh, I know some of you here, they talk, about toxic relationships, and you will say to them, well, so one module will be about self-worth, or one module will be about self-love, and they'll be like, but why self-love is important to overcome toxic relationships, right? So you need to really explain to them in your marketing very carefully and very clearly why that's important, because if they don't understand the importance of every single step of your program or every single step of your module, then they're going to purchase, because they'll be like, I don't need this, because they don't know the importance of it. Okay, does that make sense? And I'll teach you tomorrow, it's all about how you market it and how you get people actually into buying your products. So I'll talk about this tomorrow, how you actually have to communicate as well, okay? And really think about how you want to deliver the program. So I've given you some ideas already earlier on. So really start thinking, what feels right, what feels exciting for you. You want to wake up in the morning and be excited to talk about the topics, to deliver it in a way that you've decided. So if you hate doing Facebook Lives, then don't do it that way. Really think about how you want to connect to people and how you want to help them, in what way, what capacity, and in what way, okay? The next thing we want to talk about, obviously think about, is pricing. For a lot of you, I know, I get this a lot with my clients, like, oh my God, how much should I charge for my program? I have no idea, what is the benchmark? And the worst thing you can do is to do research, okay? Because our industry, you can get the same product, there's one thing I want to say as well, there's no competition for your programs. Even though, for example, there are so many business coaches out there, I know my program is so very different from anything else out there, because you're bringing your own expertise, your skills, your abilities, your life story. You have to think about another thing you can add to your program, lots of ideas now, is that you probably have more than one modality, right? For those of you who have different modalities and different qualifications, different skills, make sure you pack everything into your program, because that is something that's going to make it more valuable, and that's how you're going to stand out from other people doing similar work. Because there are people in your niche market, for sure. There are people doing relationships, there are people doing businesses, there are people doing healing, emotions. It's all being done, right? It's not for us to reinvent the market. You know, there are people in your niche, and that's okay, and that's good, right? We need more people helping people in our niches. But how you can stand out is exactly that. You know, what are your skills? What is your experience? What's your life story? How can you put it inside your program to make it so different and unique? Because the way you're going to help people escape toxic relationships, or the way you're going to help people create amazing businesses, is so very different from somebody else in your own niche. Okay, so you never have competition. So you don't need to do research, because there'll be people in your industry who will be charging so much less than you. There will be people who are charging so much more than you. And it doesn't matter. What matters is to charge your soul aligned pricing. Because if you charge less, if you charge with what your head is telling you, and you're going with, oh my God, I'm not worthy, you know, I don't have enough skills or experience, therefore I need to charge less, that's already your head talking. That will get you out of alignment quickly. So even if you're charging people less, they're not going to come to you simply because the price is out of alignment. So you are not energetic alignment for that price point, okay? But if you're charging, let's say, more, and that's in energetic alignment, then you will attract more clients. So it's, again, everything comes back to the energy, okay? So I'll give you an example. I had a client who is absolutely amazing healer, and she's been healing for like 7 or 10 years, you know, many years. And she kept charging people $100 per session, and her sessions were long. They were like 2.5 hours, but it was, you know, the same marketing style, right? 1 session, 1 hour, and she couldn't get any people. She was reducing her pricing, nothing, you know, she was really struggling. Then we created her program, and her soul aligned price was $2,500, I believe, right? And she was like, oh my God, I'm so scared to do it, but it feels right, it feels exciting, it feels aligned, so I'm gonna do it. And I said, yeah, go do it, right? I was excited for her. In 24 hours, she attracted 2 clients who paid her everything in full. So in 24 hours, she actually made just over $5,000, okay? And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this, like, woohoo, right? And this is the power of your energetic alignment. Okay, so that's why it's so important to go with the price that feels right to you. Okay, so don't do any research, because the more research you do, the more overwhelmed you'll be and more confused you'll be, because you'll see that there are people charging so many different price points. Our industry, you cannot really compare those things, because people are charging, you know, £100 for a program and £10,000 for a program, or even £100,000 for a program, right? You cannot compare to anyone. This is your journey, and you have to stick to your own soul's guidance, okay? But there are different things you can do to check if you're in alignment. So normally what I do is I ask my soul, so I go into meditation and I ask my soul what my soul aligned price is, and I hear a number, and I see how that makes me feel. If you're not sure whether your head is talking to you or your soul, because I have that with my clients, you know, if you heard our coaching calls, it would be so funny, because I would be asking them a question and I would hear the answer, and I would like, okay, this is your head talking to me. I don't want to speak to your head, I want to speak to your soul. Can you please connect to your soul now? And it's beautiful, because you always get a very different answer from their soul. So sometimes you might want to ask your head, okay, how much should I charge? And your head will be like £500 for a program. And then you know at least that this is not the right price. And then you can ask your soul, and then you will see a difference. Similarly to what we did on day 1 when we asked about our soul aligned income, right? So you can do something similar for the pricing. Another thing what I do sometimes is I go through numbers, you know, 100, 200, and see how I feel. So, you know, when you're in alignment, you can ask yourself, how does it feel when I'm in alignment, right? And you can feel those feelings. For most of us, you'll be feeling at peace or excited or just right. You just know that it feels right, expansive, right? But when it doesn't feel right, it feels like, ooh, you know, it feels off. It just feels off. So you can go through the numbers, or you can go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then you think, okay, well, 2,000 felt nice. So then 2,100, 2,200, and see how that feels. There are different methods as well that I teach in some of my programs to help you, but these are like really 2 good ways to figure out your soul aligned price, okay? So yeah, so now we talked. Do you guys have any questions? You know, it's so funny because this is the first time I'm doing this course as a 4-day course. Typically, I was doing it as a 3-day course. So I would do what we did yesterday and today together, and it would be 1 hour training. And this time I divided them into 2 trainings, and I'm still doing it. You know, yesterday it was 1 hour, and today it's going to be probably an hour as well. Like, it's amazing. When I have more time, I speak anyway so much. I just talk and talk. Doesn't matter. I was thinking this would be a short training. It never is with me. So does it make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Anyway, so now you guys hopefully know, just to quick summary, you know not to charge per session, you know to create a program, you know to add so much value into it, you know how to figure out pricing, you know how to figure out length of the program. Okay, Vicky, thank you, it makes sense. So now I want to say to you that you might have the best program in the world, right? But if you don't know how to turn it into an irresistible offer, if you don't know how to market it, nobody will purchase from you. Okay, so marketing is crucial. You need to learn how to market your program. You need to learn, obviously, that you know how to market it in a soul aligned way. But if you connected to your purpose, if you created a soul aligned niche, if you created your program from a soul aligned place, you are already energetically aligned so with your success, right? That's why this is so important, to combine the strategy with energy work. Okay, because strategy itself will not get you the results. You need both. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be talking more about marketing, how you actually do it, but today I want to show you how you can turn it into irresistible offer. Okay, first of all, you need to add some bonuses to it. So normally what I do is I create a full program, right? I know everything, like I know the whole outline of the program, right? And then I'm thinking, what can I take out of this program and put it in bonuses section? The reason why we want bonuses is that people love offers, special offers. They love bonuses, extra bonuses. So it's just how we market it. But again, it needs to feel in alignment. If you feel this doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Okay, there are so many different ways in which you can create irresistible offer. So go with something that feels right to you. Or sometimes you sometimes you can just take some bits out of your program and turn it into extra bonuses. Sometimes you will feel like you want to add a bit of extra. You know, you want to share some piece of information, but it doesn't fit anywhere. You know, it doesn't go with the flow. It just doesn't fit in the outline of the program, and it just fits with something like a bonus, right, section. So my bonus sections are, for example, entrepreneurial toolkit, right? So it doesn't fit anywhere in my program, really. Like, I didn't know where to put it. So I was like, okay, it's just going to be in a bonus section. Or how to maximize time, you know, that's separate as a bonus. I actually have so many bonuses, and there's like a lot of value in them. I have some experts that came into the program that, you know, would really benefit you, like, you know, breath work, quantum jumping, working with timelines. You know, this all is amazing training, but it doesn't fit in the outline, the main program, so you're gonna get it as a bonus, right? But it still helps you in your entrepreneurial journey. Does that make sense? So that's how I work out my bonuses. Something that doesn't quite fit in the main program, but I still think they're super beneficial and it will help you, but they will come as a bonus. Okay, you could be doing maybe meditations there, or maybe extra support could be a bonus, or you can add like an extra coaching or healing session as a bonus. Okay, and always you have to put a value of whatever you're giving to people, right? So let's say, you know, you need to really figure out the outline of your program. So, you know, okay, this is the module 1 that I'm going to talk about. How much is that worth? You know, what's the value of it? And you want to add, that's another way of actually calculating your price, right? You want to add the value of everything you're adding into the program. And that's the price, that's the value of the program. That's not what you're going to charge. It's very different. The value of your program is going to be always so much higher than what you're charging. And that's how you're turning into a irresistible offer as well. Because if you add everything, app, everything could, let's say, it will be like £10,000, right? Because it's like your coaching sessions, your support, your healing set, like everything, right? The value of your program, and you calculate everything, you add everything up, and it's, let's say, £10,000, right? And you say to people, the value of this program actually is £10,000. If you wanted to purchase just one thing from that program, which I don't recommend you do, but if they wanted to purchase just one thing, this is how much it would be, right? So the value of the program is £10,000, let's say. But your soul aligned price might be £5,000, right? And you say to them, but now the special offer is £5,000, so it's 50% off. Does that make sense? So you're creating an irresistible offer. So how you create it is the value is different to the price that you're charging, okay? And also the bonuses. So you can charge for bonuses. You can say, the bonuses, again, you calculate everything. It's, let's say, it's £2,000, but you're going to get them for free, okay? So again, see how that makes you feel. Everything needs to feel in alignment, okay? These are different options. Another way to create an irresistible offer is to create urgency. Urgency is really good. So that's like psychology part of sales. And what it says is that for a lot of people, if there's no urgency, people will never purchase, because people they want to stay in their comfort zone, and they're scared, they're really scared to come out of their comfort zone and to purchase something, especially something that will challenge them. Your clients and my clients, they want to create something amazing, right? It is out of their comfort zone. that involves inner work, and that's challenging. So for people to invest in themselves, it's going to be always a challenging decision. So if urgency is not there, if they think they can get the same offer, special offer anytime, then they're going to wait. And as a result, they will never move forward in their life. They will be stuck with the problem forever, because there's no urgency to it, right? So if you create urgency for them, so if they know that only this time they can work with you 50% off, you're going to get more people interested, okay? And it's going to be good for them, because they're finally doing something about their life. You'll be able to help them massively. So it works for you, but it also works for your clients. Does that make sense? So how you can create urgency, there are different ways of doing it as well. And again, it depends on you what feels right for you to do. So you can create, limited time offers. So, you have 50% off for the next two weeks, and that's it. Or you can create urgency in terms of spaces for your program as well, because I know that your programs will not be open to like thousands and thousands of people. You probably will want to work with smaller amount of people, or it depends on you, right? But typically that's what I see from my clients. Then again, you can only offer X amount of spaces. So if they're all gone, then they're all gone, right? So again, it's honest truth that, you can't serve everyone right now, and they will have to wait next time you run your program, but it might be until, I don't know how often you want to be running your program as well, right? I don't run my programs all the time, like the masterminds that are the most successful ones, I only run them 3 times a year, right? So people, they miss it, they have to wait, and that's just how it is. So, so that's how you create irresistible offer, okay? So make sure you are utilizing those points, because if you don't, it's way more difficult to sell, okay? So in that way, but again, go with your gut feeling, go with what feels in alignment with you, okay? And the last thing I want to talk to you about is, okay, once you have this program, this amazing program, now you have amazing irresistible offer. You're so ready now. You're like, yes, I've got this. It feels amazing. Now I just need some people, right? How do you even what's the next step, right? So the next step is to create a community, okay? Because remember, because of our nature of work, it's very, how we're going to work with people is very intimately, it's very, I find it extremely connecting. I feel very connected to my clients. I feel great love towards them, because we work so closely together, and we uncover so many blocks, and and life happens throughout our program. And although I'm a business and spiritual coach, I help them with their emotional well-being, even if something massive happens in their life as well. so yeah, so I get to really get to know my clients, and that's what I love about this work, and I'm sure you're the same. And we in this work because we want to help people, because we love people. So you want to create community. So what you need to be doing, what I really recommend you do, is create a Facebook group. I just checked just before this training. It's 2.96 billion people on Facebook. So your clients are definitely on Facebook, and all my clients have their Facebook groups, and they get clients from Facebook for free. Okay, so there's no advertising. There's you don't need to spend any money on it. It's called organic marketing. And in fact, Facebook will be promoting your Facebook group for free for you if you run it the right way. So you just need to learn how to run your Facebook group successfully, and then Facebook does the promoting for you for free, which is insane. Okay, so you want to have a Facebook group, and you want to have email marketing, okay, in place. Tony, I came in late and missed yesterday, not here tomorrow, so going to dive into replays when I get home. Amazing! Yeah, make sure you catch the replays, it will really, really help you. Well done. So yeah, we want email marketing. So we want to have our people in our emails, and people in Facebook group as well, because you're not going to own your Facebook group. It still belongs to Facebook. So if anything ever happens with Facebook and they decide to shut it down, which probably will never happen, but you can get blocked from Facebook, and it would be silly just to rely on Facebook group which does not belong to you, right? Like, it's somebody else's power over you, right? So Facebook groups are amazing. They're very, very effective, and all of my clients come through Facebook and from my email list, right? But it's important to have email lists, because in case they shut it down, you've got your clients there, and email list is something that belongs to you. Nobody can take it away from you. Okay, so you definitely need to create community, and you can do it in a different way, right? So on Facebook, you can, how you sort of attract clients is through your Facebook group name. So let me just see this. So Facebook group name. So that's the first thing you can do, and it will attract clients passively to your Facebook group. How? Is because when you have keywords in your name, and your clients type the keywords in a search button or space, your group will come up. Okay, so it's very important that you create a Facebook group name that relates to your niche, right? So for example, really focus on the problem you solve and the results. Okay, so that your clients, when they're looking for for solutions, they're going to be typing in probably their problem and the results that they want to create. Okay, so you need to make sure your Facebook group name has both, or just one at least, right? So either the problem or the results, or both. Okay, so when you're helping people with toxic relationships, it will be something about toxic relationships or healthy relationships, right? So there will be something, these would be the keywords you want to put in your Facebook group name. Another thing is setting Facebook profiles properly. Okay, so that's another passive way of attracting clients. So what I mean by passive way is that you do it once, and then it attracts clients for you whilst you sleep. Okay, so setting up your Facebook group profiles properly will also help you. So you need to have your profile that links to your Facebook group and your business page, right? So when you are in other people's Facebook groups, you're obviously using your profile. Don't use your business page. That doesn't work very well. Use your profile, but when people like you, they want to check you out, they will be obviously linked. They will see what you do, right? So they will see your profile, and on your profile you'll be redirecting people to either your Facebook group or your business page. Okay, a lot of people think that business pages is what you need to create successful business, but actually it's the other way around. Okay, when you have a business page and you just focus on getting clients from your business page, Facebook makes it very difficult for you to succeed, because they see you as a business. So they want you to spend money on ads to be successful. So actually, not many people see your post from your business page, But when it comes to Facebook groups, remember, Facebook is all about communities. It's all about creating connections and creating relationships, which is perfect for our businesses, okay? Because our businesses are all about relationships, okay? So Facebook groups are way more powerful than business pages. So I want you guys to focus on all your energy needs to go into your Facebook group, okay? So when you run it in the right way, when you have engagement, when people engagement doesn't necessarily mean likes and hearts and comments. That helps, but that's not it. It's people need to see your posts, okay? In order for Facebook to see that, you know, your group is good quality. Also, when your Facebook group keeps growing, that's another sign for Facebook that, oh, this is a good group. And when your Facebook sees your group as a good group, then it starts promoting your group for free for you, because they're like, okay, this is good. People need to see it more, and it will push to people like your clients. Your clients will start seeing your group all the time, and that's how new people come into your group. And a lot of people, when they join my group, I have questions, you know, and I ask them, how did you hear about my group? And they say, you know, Facebook ads. And I don't do Facebook ads, and that's just only because Facebook pushes my group to like-minded people, because my group keeps happening here, and I keep growing my group, okay? So that's massive. So that's passive ways, and but of course there are different ways you can do to grow, to have more control, and to grow your group whenever you want. And that's something we're going to be talking about tomorrow, right? So what do I need to do to promote my program? What are the things I need to do to actually get people interested in my program and actually buy my program, right? So tomorrow we're going to be talking about 3 different strategies that will help you sell, basically. They will help you create your first 6-figure year, okay? So tomorrow is the most important day in terms of, you know, in terms of selling. So make sure you attend. Tomorrow is the same day. Well, it's not the same day. Tomorrow is the same time, the same place. I'm going to be here. Do you guys have any questions? So today we covered how to create your offer, right? How to create your program, how to make it into an irresistible offer, and what you need to do before you start promoting in order to be successful, in order to get clients. So you definitely need Facebook group and your email lists, okay? And tomorrow will be all about what steps you actually need to take to get people into your community, and once they're in your community, what things you need to do to actually get them into buying your programs. So tomorrow will be interesting, will be exciting, it will be like the main point, right? Vicky, will you cover how to link Facebook page and business page? No, I can't really do that, because I would have to like share my screen, and there's more important. It's almost like I want to show you more important things and strategies tomorrow, so I will not have time to show you how to do that. Amy, do you pre-record videos or do live videos, or both? I do both. Depends. So in my paid programs, they're all pre-recorded, but my marketing materials, like this is marketing material for me. I do sometimes lives. It's very rare. So last time I did live, live training was maybe 7-8 months ago, and now I'm doing it again. So it really goes with my alignment. So I do lives very, very rarely, and I do pre-recorded more because of my lifestyle. You know, before I had children, I would do lives all the time because I really enjoy doing lives. I prefer that because I can connect with you guys, I can talk to you guys, it's really nice. But because now my energy shifted massively, and I have a lot automated stuff in my business to save me time. So that's what I do. Oh, and tomorrow obviously it's all about helping you work only 1 to 3 hours a day. So all these strategies I'll be sharing with you will actually help you create 6-figure year from scratch, working only 1 to 3 hours a day. So I'll share with you exactly what I do in my business that saves me a lot of time, okay? Vicky, so grateful to be here for your lives. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I'm so grateful that you came on and like we can have real conversations in real time. You know, that always feels so much nicer when you can actually connect to people like that. So thank you so much. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and the biggest thing about tomorrow is I'm going to be doing giveaways. So I'm going to be gifting 5 consultations to 5 people for free. Where I'll be diving deep into your situation, you know, where you are in terms of your business, and I'll be giving you personalized advice as to what I think you should be doing to get to whatever your income goal is, okay? So normally those consultations are £350, but I'm giving them away for free for 5 people. So make sure you join us live so you can secure that spot for you if that's something you want to do. Amy, thank you so much. So grateful to you, and I'm so excited to get started. That's what I want to hear. Amazing. Great, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you tomorrow, and have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love. Bye, guys.